Welcome. How you doing? Hope everybody's well. Uh, this is a short video I'm going to do that I'm using to accompany a blog that I'm putting together, and it's about reforestation as a part of ways you can regenerate a piece of land. And the reason for that, you'll have to visit the blog, which is frankholzman.blogspot.com. And the reason for the reforestation part is because with my nonprofit, we just did a reforestation project where we planted 20,000 trees around the state of Georgia. These are some of the trees. They're young trees. This is an oak, and it looks like it's starting to bud out. That looks good. What I'm doing up here is I'd plant just a number of trees. We have hoops over some of them because deer will get into them. But other than that, they should be fine, and they probably might do fairly well without the hoops. But just to be on the safe side, because we have a lot of these hoops. So what I've done is planted larger trees in the corners. There's going to be one up there, and I'm planting understory trees. Like there's a red maple, there's a dogwood. This looks like a redbud, and it would be good to plant something underneath it. I have a couple plants here that I could work with. I've got a eupatorium, which is a bone set. It's a nice plant. It's a good plant. It's a beneficial plant to have around. I don't think I'll plant these up here. This is a meadow parsley, which is a wonderful plant for pollinators. But I think I'm actually going to plant them in the garden. You can see the bone set starting to come up here, and this one's actually getting ready to bloom. I think what I'll do instead is throw some, because we just planted these recently, I'll plant some, I have some clover, some white clover, so maybe I'll throw that around the base, because the plant will benefit from that. Not to mention, that ought to be sufficient. And not to mention that, but the bees up the hill will benefit from that later on when they bloom. So, and what I'm doing here is creating a little corridor. This is not really a serious reforestation project. What it is more so than anything else is I'm creating a little habitat. I'm taking over some of the field here. See, this field we use to cut hay off of. And then what we do is we take the hay and we actually use it to make compost. It's a lot of field for a lot of hay, but it works very well for what our purpose is and what our needs are. So here, this one up here is a chestnut oak. It's a nice tree. What's nice about this tree is I have an emotional relationship with it because it comes from a tree that I planted for my son when he was born, and it produced a offspring. A seedling came up from it, so I thought I'd bring it out here and plant this at Tierra Sonrisa. But the idea with the reforestation and the seedlings is that if you'll visit the blog, you'll get an idea of what the program was all about. But it's about reforesting land as a way to restore habitat and to regenerate land, especially unused areas. And I mean, we are using this field, but at the same time, we're also we can easily set aside apart for this little corridor of trees that'll grow here. Now we can plant things in between them that'll further along the habitat aspect of it. And then it's a corridor with there's the main garden over there. And what I'll probably do with these plants is I'll plant them inside the garden. They're beneficial. This is a really good plant as far as it'll attract beneficial insects into the garden. So I'll plant this under maybe perhaps some of the fruit trees. That would be a more beneficial use. And just throw some mulch around that tree. That would be useful. The tree would appreciate that. And it'll help the clover to come up later on. So, yeah, I'm creating a corridor. And with the corridor, I'm allowing for birds, for instance, to fly back and forth from here to there. And so I'm creating that kind of a natural corridor for the wildlife. And we're doing other things with this field as well. We're planting wildflowers and herbs that'll help create diversity in the field. Up in the upper part of that field, we're planting some pockets of wildflowers that'll create wildlife habitat, and it'll add diversity to the field. This field goes up about, I'd say it's probably about 130 yards going that way. And altogether, this is about a 2.5 acre field because it wraps around the garden. And so that's the gist of it. The idea of planting trees is that they're long term. You're planting for the future. They imply permanence, and permanence. The idea of permanence is that if you plan for the future, maybe you'll have one. So that's the whole concept of planting trees. It's about doing something that's not just for the short term, but actually is going to favor the long term as well. So anyway, I encourage you to visit the blog. We planted 20,000 trees in the course of 2.5 months, and now we're finished with that because it's obviously springtime out here. We gave a lot of trees. These plants, for instance, were given to me by the Georgia Wildlife Society, Georgia Native Plant Society. That's what I got in return for giving them about 350 trees. Sounds like I got the short end of the deal. I mean, I got this hat from Berry College for giving them 350 trees as well, or somewhere in that neighborhood. So visit the blog, frankholzman.blogspot.com, and you can find out about reforestation that we're doing and other projects. And thanks for watching, and hope you're enjoying the spring. Hope you're getting out in this slow time of year, this slow time in our shift of what's going on in society today. Hope you're able to get out and actually take advantage of that time and work in your garden. So be well and take care of yourself. Thank you.